If my voice is audible to everyone, just let me know once. I think everything should be fine now. Hopefully there's no disturbance in the voice anymore. I will just load the thumbnail just a second. If my voice is audible to everyone, please let me know in the chat if anyone's there. All right, cool. All right. Hopefully there's no disturbance today. Well, let's see. All right, so Nifty is doing what I was fearing. So what is happening in Nifty is, if you see, what is happening here is after this up move here, the distribution started from here, and we saw this, right? So I was expecting this to be accumulation, but as soon as this started to break, right, and traded a lower high here, it was pretty confirmed that it's going to test the low here. Right now, it's when it's testing the low out here. It went down very smoothly, and today it opened with a climax move. So whenever it opens with a climax move, where the previous day's move just continues on the downside, what you want is a sharp pullback, right? That is what you want to see, and it will be around some previous value area, maybe some previous supply, or maybe around any EMA or any value area, and then it will create the leg for the next move, right? Create the base for the next move. So what happened here is Nifty tried to go up here, but then started topping out here, and this breakdown is not good. Is not at all good for the market. What we can see from here is, if this climax move is the end of the down move, we should see some quick move up above this supply, and then we should see some consolidation here. If we do not see that today, then this is not good for the market in the coming days, because this breakdown right here signifies a lot of weakness even after a continued down move, right? So if we don't get that up move in the afternoon, which is right now in an hour or so, then that'll not be good for the market, for the broader market as well. But a good thing today is a lot of stocks are actually have recovered very well from the lows, right? If you see, a lot of stocks have given a V-shaped recovery and have taken out previous supplies. So that is a good thing to see actually. What is going on is there is definitely some higher time frame demand below, and Nifty can find some demand, but again the structure is poor, so there is no question about it right now. We'll see if the structure changes soon, right? Until and unless this base is taken out, right, I don't see any sharp up move in Nifty anytime soon, and this particular structure is not good for the market. On the other hand, we had discussed Siemens. We had discussed Siemens 3 days earlier, right, when it was here, and it is still sustaining that level. So that is a really good sign for this structure, right? Siemens, if you see the higher time frame structure as well, it is actually setting up pretty nicely. Just a second. All right, so Siemens on the higher time frame as well, it is setting up nicely. If you see, it has broken out of a big base, which was there for 4 to 5 years, I think, and now it's holding this level. So this indicates that the stock is trying to outperform the broader market, and that is a really good sign for the stock, right? So Siemens you can slowly accumulate, but Nifty is not at all in a strong structure anymore, right? Even though there was a nice rejection, it was because of this demand right here, which was there around these levels. Actually, this entire base is a demand zone in Nifty, right, from here. So the rejection in the morning, it was good. after the climax down move, it was a good pullback. But after the pullback, you want to see sustaining, right? You want to see the counter sustaining, right? So what it was doing, it's just created a top, and now it's starting to drop again, which is not a good sign. It can give a new low and then maybe go up, but until and unless it either makes a new low or it breaks out of this area, I would suggest staying away from Nifty and definitely away from longs. Currently, there is no point taking any long trades in the market. You will just get whipped around with the market. You see all these structures are breaking down now. So mid-cap IT is actually a strong space. If you see the IT sector, mid-cap IT is a strong space. It's still sustaining this base right here, above this base, which it created after that drop, right? This entire structure, Mindtree. And it's just pulling back on the back of not very good volumes. You can look at the up move, the volumes are good. But now it's pulling back on the back of not very good volume. So mid-cap IT is placed nicely. Other mid-cap IT stocks, if you see, LTTS as well, you see all these are trying to break out of these little 1 hour bases which they created. Right, Naukri as well, if you see, trying to break out. Coforge, you should avoid it right now. It's trying to break down, so this is not a good structure in Coforge. But mid-cap IT stocks are definitely one which you should be watching. Meanwhile, Nifty still heading down, so this is not at all a desired structure in Nifty 50. Right, we have to wait for more. We have to wait for more confirmation. This is not it. All right, and all stocks are breaking down together. If you see, I'll just open this FNO list. Let's go below. So all stocks are trying to go down. Another index is the metal index, which is still behaving nicely, which is a great sign because metal is a high beta counter. So if you see Nifty metal, see what is Nifty metal doing is from the high here, which it created in the open yesterday, it is constantly trying to break through that high, and it's not really trying to break below. Right, once it tried, and there was a sharp rejection in the morning, and still it is not testing this area out. So metal is placed very nicely here, and you should definitely look into some metal counters. And how to judge the stronger metal counters currently is if you see the structure right here. Right, if you see the structure here, so metal is trading around the midpoint of this entire swing. Right, of this swing, it's trading on the midpoint. So simply you just want to go to the middle space, and you want to see which stocks are above that midpoint. Right? So see, Tata Steel definitely a stronger structure, but on the daily it's a lagging structure. So you should be a bit cautious. So the demand zone here in Tata Steel is this one, and it is showing some outperformance from this demand zone. It is currently pulling back, but that's fine. That can happen. The Vedanta is not that strong right now compared to the metal index, is what I'm saying. Right? If you see SAIL as well, not that strong. National Aluminium definitely not the strongest metal sector, and Hindalco as well. So if you see, the move is actually driven mostly by JSW, right? It's kind of all right, and Tata Steel is what you need to focus on right now. It's showing some outperformance. It can show further outperformance in the same sector. Let's see what Nifty does here, but no trades here. Actually, it can fall freely again, which is not a good sign. So a lot of questions about IRCTC. I'll check out IRCTC just a second. So IRCTC, all right. Let me check it out. All right. So IRCTC, the thing with IRCTC is ignore this gap. Right. Let's just study 2 days of price action. What is going on? So now, what you're seeing in IRCTC is this is a split action, right? And this is yesterday's low. It went down below low, but it went down yesterday's low, but the volume was not there. The volume was not there, right? So when it was falling, the volume was actually not there. But when it started rising, you see the volume is coming in. See, the news is the same, right? The news is the same. If the news had to be bad, then there would be dumping volume as well. There is no volume on the sell-off, all right? So there is no volume on the sell-off, but there is volume on the up move. So it means that there are definitely some buyers interested around these prices, which are 688 to 700, this area. There are definitely a lot of buyers which are interested in this sector. So if you're holding from higher levels, I would suggest to still hold. It might form a multi-day base here, and put your reference at this supply, right? At this supply, I'll just zoom in just a second. So put your reference on this supply. It's currently trying to negotiate this supply. It can do something like this and then maybe head up. But if it starts to roll over from here, then you slowly start exiting your position. So suppose what happens is, this is a 5-minute chart, right? So the volatility is so high that your stops will be much bigger now. So this is the supply which I was talking about, right? So now what is happening is, see, there is no selling at all right now, even when Nifty is trying to go down. So that is a very positive sign in the counter, right? So that is one thing you should note of. So there is definitely some strong demand in this area, and I think when the chart gets corrected in trading view, we will fall somewhere around. This demand zone. I think in IRCTC 3500, 3600 is somewhere we will fall. Actually, this might also sustain in IRCTC. So here you should be holding IRCTC. You shouldn't really be selling it at this point because there is a lot of demand coming in at these levels. So you should be holding it if you are holding it. You shorted at the high today. Not a great trade. It already gapped down, I think. So it already gapped down on the circuit, and you shorted here. You shorted here. You should be exiting by now if you're still holding. Right? This is not a good short at all. It's already dropping a lot. So not a great short, and opened at the low as well. So you never know when it just turns around. Siemens is still showing a lot of relative strength here. If you see, Nifty is still trying to move down, but Siemens is not buzzing at all. So that is a great sign in Siemens. A lot of relative strength. Siemens you can start buying at these levels. You can put your stop below these lows. See, the market is very volatile. Your stops can get hit left and right. So that is why you need to stay in market outperformers, the stocks which are trying to lead the market on the upside, right, or not falling with the market on the downside. Those are the stocks that you want to be in, and one of those stocks is Airtel as well. Nice range above this demand zone right here, right, and it's sustaining. I have built some positions in Airtel. Let's see if Nifty sustains. This will head higher very easily. So Airtel is also a very good very good counter here for some quick reversal trades. If the quick reversal happens in Nifty, which it seems kind of unlikely at this point, Airtel will definitely head higher if Nifty sustains at these levels. And Siemens is also one of them. India Bulls Housing is also kind of outperforming here, but the structure is poor. So this might just be a bounce for a drop day tomorrow. That can also play out, which is why I wouldn't really suggest this one. But keep it on watch. This is also outperforming. If Nifty turns around and it starts trading above these supplies, it can give a quick move till 265. Current price is 218, 219. So keep a watch on this stock as well. And Siemens, definitely you need to watch this. Airtel as well. Let's check out a few more outperformers. It's all about which stock is holding up in this market, right? Canara Bank, if you see, pulled back to the 20 EMA and immediately shot up from this demand zone right here, which made a new high. So what is going on is, if you see, this is the entire structure which made the new high, right? See, why you don't need to consider these as your order blocks or your demand zones is because this has not led to any big impulse, this has not led to any trending move, right? After a downtrend, the thing that reverses the entire structure is the most important one, right? All of these above, they might give a little reaction, but then the block above will also give a reaction on the downside. So these are not important. This area right here, right, which led to this entire trending move, that is the structure which you should be focusing on and give a nice entry in the morning and then move nicely, right? Maybe there was no intraday entry because it just spiked up, but there was definitely an entry here. So if you see, some kind of contraction is there, right? So you could have tried to take it with a wider stop to deal with the volatility today in the morning. So this was a good structure. These are true market leaders, right? These are definitely the ones which you should be focusing on. Give me 1 minute. All right. So Nifty free fall, maybe. This is not very motivating. Again, sustained weakness. There is no reaction from the demand zone. It's definitely trying to go below the low. So that is not a great sign. Bank Nifty as well, if you see. So this was the entire fall. This came back up, formed a range, a little base, and started dumping again. That's not a good. It's not a good view for the market. All right. Don't take shorts here, right? I'm not advising you to take shorts here because you could have shorted at this pullback right here when it started rejecting. But now taking shorts is not a good idea for me. All right. So I won't really advise shorts here, but again, it's the momentum is on the downside. So it can move down. Cement's still holding up, which is a great sign. This is also almost holding up, but I'm doubtful now. It might just down. Let's see what happens. Airtel is strong. Yes, Airtel is strong around the lower levels, which is 685, 680. These levels, Airtel is much stronger than Nifty. So if it pulls back down, the demand can come in. So this is trying to go up. Let's see. We might we might get a reaction from the demand zone, but again, longs is not the play here. We will see what happens. Indigo, see Indigo also you need to keep on watch because Indigo actually it is breaking out of the previous all-time high. Give me 1 second. So Indigo has broken out of the previous all-time high, tested it today, and now it's heading up nicely. So Indigo is also one chart that you want to watch. And India Bulls definitely, let's see how it behaves on this play. It is trying to outperform Nifty. So there is some kind of reaction. But again, no longs at these levels. Let's go to the 1 minute. All right. So, yeah, probably avoid it because the sell-off, the wide range bearish candles, the rejections have a lot of volume. So if it has to turn around, let it take out this area and then we'll see. No longs in the market right now. There is no point taking longs right now. All right, so let's check the different sectors as well. What is actually sustaining PSU banks? So PSU banks, this is the base which you should be watching. It already gave a reaction and it's also broken up through the supply. It has pierced the supply here, which is a good sign. Now it's trying to stay above this base. So let us check out a few PSU banks. PSU banks look bullish as usual. So Canara Bank is the main leader of the pack. And SBI also is trying to be in green. SBI, if you check the hourly chart, structure is still really good in SBI. If you see, after this reversal, this entire trend is started from this candle right here. Right? So unless this is taken out, PSU banks are not really bearish. They will remain bullish, but they need to stabilize here a bit. And then we can find some opportunities in PSU banks. Just a second. So Nifty is trying to go up, but Siemens is actually trying to outperform here as well. And this as well. All right, so other indices are CNX Media because of Zeal. Yeah, another stock is Zeal, which you need to keep on focus. Zeal, Sun TVC, all the media stocks are up. All the media stocks have pulled back to the 20 DMA, and here is where you want to look for your structure break. So as you see, PVR actually broke out through the structure here and pulled back to the demand zone today. So there was an entry in PVR. You can still look for longs in PVR, but wait for it to come down to this zone, right? And then you can actually hold it for a bigger swing kind of position if you want to in PVR. And Zeal as well, it's the same story. Zeal, the structure break was somewhere here. And now just pulled back. So Zeal is also nicely bullish, and Sun TV just reacted in straight line. So no trade in Sun TV. So media stocks definitely one you should be watching, and metals as well, right? So where were we on metals? Yeah. So if you see metals, this is the demand zone which it retested 2 days earlier as well, and now it's trying to stay above it. This entire structure here, right? It indicates relative strength with respect to Nifty, and it won't be violated until and unless this entire zone is taken on the downside. So it can do something like this as well, right? So don't change your bias if you see metals making a wide range bearish candle and suddenly reversing, right? That can definitely happen in the metal sector. So you should definitely be. So sorry for that noise. Yeah. So you should definitely be watching the metal sector because it's trying to go up from that base, and that's a daily demand zone as well, right? So it can give a sharp move, and the stocks on the metal sector which I've already discussed is Tata Steel and just Tata Steel, to be honest. Nothing else is setting up really. From the daily chart, this looks good, but again, it's getting a bit weaker here. So I would suggest you to avoid it. Let's see what happens. All right, so RVNL Ashok Leyland, let's check it out. RVNL retest, I wouldn't really get in here after this sharp rejection. It's not a leader anymore because it has fallen much more than Nifty, right? From 45 to 33, not a good trade. So I will probably ignore RVNL. So see, the main point is this supply right here. It's acting right now, so it will build up here to take it out. So don't jump into this stock right now. Not worth it, to be honest. It's fallen a lot. It's also moving in 10% circuits now, so ignore it. Meanwhile, Siemens is trying to break out here. Very strong name, Siemens. It will try to head up whenever Nifty turns around. You can buy a small position in Siemens here, and you can keep your stop below today's low, which is the 2120, 2125, I think, somewhere around that. Ashok Leyland as well, let's check it out. Yeah, this is a very strong structure. This is good. This structure is really good. So you see the break was somewhere here, pulled back to this demand zone right here, gave a move, gave a retest again. If you're getting an intraday entry here, I think you should be taking it. Yeah, you should be buying this one, right? And for a swing trade, keep your stop below this today's low. Today's low is a good stop in all stocks. So keep stop below today's low. It should be taking out the supply, or if you want a more confirmed entry, actually this is a confirmed entry. It can move up and down with Nifty, but this is really strong. You can get in Ashok Leyland. This is really good. This is approved. Meanwhile, the stronger names, if you see India Bull Housing trying to go up, Siemens above 2200 now. So these are the names which you should be trading right now, and for the shorter term swing as well. All right, so it is reacting from the demand zone. What we want is we want it to take out this supply. It can be a base correction as well, right? This is an initial rally or automatic rally is what they call, and then this can be a base correction for a bigger base to be built up here. So you can watch out for that as well. I will add Ashok Leyland to my watch, just a second. All right, I'll just clear all of these out. All right, so already trying to move, which is a great sign. Anytime Nifty recovers and the stock tries to spike up, that is a great sign. Don't take longs in the index. You just want to select outperforming stocks right now. Don't jump in with longs in the index. Religare Enterprises, all right. This is not a great structure for me. All right, I want it to be trending. I want it to I want to get on this dip, and if it's breaking out of the base, testing the demand zone, then it's good. But the point is, it is already tested out the previous distribution base. So when it's already tested out the previous base, then you should be waiting for a dip, and the dip will be into this zone or this zone right here. So this contraction is what you want to get on the upside. Before that, don't enter the stock. All right, VMart, we'll check it out. Ultra Cement, all right. VMart is good, yes. This is a great structure right here. Good structures today, guys. Good work. I think you guys are learning something from the life, which is a good thing. So great structure here in VMart. You can take entries here. You can wait for a dip as well, but the structure is really good. I think today was earnings, or is it about? Okay, it is already there, I think. So great structure here. It will definitely try to move on the upside. This is the really good structure right here. You can watch it. You can start buying it as well. You can start buying it as well, actually. Also, it did not really fall in the August fall, right? In the small cap index. That is also another point which you should be noting. So this is headed higher. This is definitely headed higher. Let me check out the weekly chart as well. Yeah, so it's breaking out of this base and it's sustaining the level of 3,400. And now it's making a higher zone, which is higher base basically, which is 3800 to the all-time high. This is a great structure. You can get in this one if you want to. All right, Orion Pro Solutions. This is also good. Yeah, this is also good. This is a good structure as well. Well done. This might be an elevated entry here. So wait for a sharp dip into 224, and then you can buy it. Because even 10 rupees is a lot in this stock. So that's 4%. So that is a lot of headroom for the stock to move. So you should be waiting for a dip below. All right, Inox as well. We'll check it out. See, in this market, I would advise you to stay away from illiquid stocks. Inox is also good. Inox is also great here, actually. But the point is, it's very flat. What I would want is somewhat of a dip and then a move up. So maybe you should be ignoring Inox. There are better options in the media space. Let me check out all media stocks, actually. So this is another great structure which is setting up for an up move. Might just roll over as well, but today's candle definitely indicates some demand at this level, which is a good opportunity. Right? So what you want is, you want an entry around 299. So I mean, entry at current price is also good, but your stop will be wide, so you can take care about that. But media stocks actually, they're looking really good now. Another one is Network 18. Let's check this one out. All right, this is a bit far, so avoid this one. A bit extended. Another one is this stream. Right? All right, this is not good. Avoid this. The momentum is gone. Godrej Industries. Yeah, I saw the chart of Godrej Industries. It's very flattish. It's setting up for a nice move, but again, it's not really doing anything at the moment. So there are two schools of thought here. If you would have bought it here, then you would have been stuck for 6 months, which is not a good bet, right? So, and this is not a market leader per se. So if you want to trade in market leaders, what you want is, you want structures like these, the stocks which are breaking out and not falling a lot. Right? Ashok Leyland is now turning into a market leader. That is what we want here. This is, if I'm talking from a perspective of a short-term swing, right? Not really a long-term bet or a medium-term bet even. I'm talking from the perspective of a short-term swing where the stock can easily outperform the broader market. And you will also know if it starts failing, you will know immediately. All right, because it will start rolling over from early zones, which is starts rolling over below these lows, then maybe it's time to give it up. So these are the market leaders currently, and you should be focusing on these if you're waiting for short-term swings. But for medium-term swings, like 6 to 10 months or maybe a year or so, where you're waiting for the stock to double or give you multiple give you multi-bagger gains, then the base breakout is good. Anuras is also setting it nicely. I remember this stock. I think okay, that was Anupam Rasai. Yeah, it's the same stock. I think. Yeah. So I have already marked this structure right here. So let's see. This looks good. You can get in. This is a good structure right here. But the problem is with Nifty. So reduce your exposure in any sort of trade. Reduce your exposure on the long side, and then get in the market. And try to stay in stocks which are already going up and pulling back to some short-term moving average, so that you don't get stuck in stocks which are range bound and might not move for some time. Okay. So stay in stocks which are already moving up and buy little pullbacks in those stocks if they break structure on the hourly chart. So wait for it to pull back, wait for some structure break on the hourly chart, and then get in these areas. Very simple trade, but very effective in the market where not a lot of stuff is moving up. So yeah, Nifty doesn't really look all that good anymore. So probably the structure is just not improving right now, and it's creating another little supply here. Might just dip down. Let's see. Alright, Uflex is another one. TVS Motors as well. TVS Motors is extended on the upside. So TVS Motors, you should be ignoring that stock. TVS Motors is kind of extended on the upside, so you should be ignoring. Uflex is alright. Yeah, Uflex is one market leader. Ignore this marking. Yeah, this is one of those leaders which I was talking about. So Uflex is looking kind of alright here. What you want to wait for is you want to wait for this high to be taken out, and then a pullback. Right? So basic structure break kind of trade here. Don't jump in right now. Like BEL is suddenly moving up, I think, on the back of results. So BEL, if you see, this was also a market leader, but then the volatility is just too high. So this is a good area to enter in BEL, right? Not anymore here, because it's already shown some rejection. Now it's definitely going up. I think it's because of the result, but the entry was around these base right here, this base. This one you should be avoiding. Another one which, let's see. Yeah, so Manappuram as well. This is a really strong counter right now. You should be focusing on Manappuram as well. A really strong counter. You see this base is holding up very nicely. You can look for intraday opportunities as well in Manappuram, but the counter is really strong here, and it's not really getting affected with Nifty. So your focus should be on structures like these, which are under some kind of momentum and not getting affected by Nifty at all, right? I wouldn't suggest buying here, because then the low of the day is 194. So the stop is quite big here, right? The stop is 6.5%. So a bit big for the amount of movement the stock gives. So maybe the opportunity is gone, but the structure is really good, and you can use this as a reference structure for other trades as well. Let me check out. Someone's talking about Ultratech as well, right? So cement sector is bullish, but again, you have to see the higher time frame as well. Higher time frame, it's not doing much at all, right? So it's not leading. It is getting into some kind of outperformance. What I would want for the short-term swing is, I'd want it to do something like this, and then maybe slowly pull back here and give me some entry on the lower time frame charts. That is what I would want in Ultratech. Right now it's seeing some outperformance, but not that much for me to be interested in this. On the other hand, Maruti is definitely leading the market. So it's very low beta, Maruti, it's very low beta. So what is happening is, if you see, this is kind of a trend developing on the upside. This can take off very fast. right? Like it happened in M&M, Mahindra and Mahindra. Let me pull up the chart of M&M. Just a second. Yeah, see, like it happened in M&M, right? Out of nowhere, the stock started just outperforming the market rapidly, right? So once this happens, this indicates some multi-month trending move in place, or maybe a reversal from the range high, right? So there are only two possibilities here. You won't be stuck in the range, rotating up and down, not knowing what to do. So M&M is good. Wait for some break here, range break, and then you can take it on the upside. On the other hand, Ashok Leyland is trying to go up again. Very strong intraday as well. This is very strong intraday as well. If Nifty turns around here, Ashok Leyland will definitely start spiking up. All right, Petronet as well. I'll check it out. Balrampur Chini again. I told you that day. The structure is not good. Petronet, there is some zone marked here. I'm not really sure what this is. All right, so Petronet, avoid it. It's very no, just avoid this one. Avoid Petronet. All right, RSCL Gears. Check it out. Never really heard about this name. Yeah, this is all right. This looks good. This looks pretty good right here. You should be all right. Yeah, maybe you can get in here as well. This looks really good. All right, you guys have learned a lot. That is a great thing to see. This is really good. Nice structure right here. Outperforming as well. Good one. Another one was IIFL Finance. I'm not really sure what it's doing right now. But is it moving up? Yeah, it's trying to go up here as well. So this is also relatively much stronger. Meanwhile, Ashok Leyland is trying to spike up. Let's see if this matures into a big move. But it should be doing well based on what it has done here. Right, there's a previous highs here, so it can take out the previous high today itself, or maybe tomorrow on the open. In the open, it can take out this side. Let's see, Nifty is also coming up from the demand. So still, this is not a confirmation for long trades. We want this supply to be taken out. Microcap index, I'm not really sure if there's a microcap index. There is no microcap index, so the small cap index. Small cap index is still dumping down, so let it form a base here. So I've already discussed how I exited my trades in the fall. Many exits were done on this candle, and everything was exited here, right? Because once the hourly structure is broken like this, just sit out and wait for the structure to get corrected. Sorry. So now what is going on is this supply right here is what you need to aim for. This is also a good level, but if you think that this is a structure break, maybe it is, but I wouldn't really take this. I want a nice expansion above it, and then I'll take it. Right. So now you want to see some kind of a breakout and then a retest. So there's a lot of time for this to develop. You should stay away from it and stay in trending sectors, which is PSU banks. Just a second. PSU banks definitely one of them. Media also trying to go up, and realty is also trying to go up. Actually, I forgot about it. Realty stocks are setting up quite nicely. If you see Godrej Properties, yeah, see, it's not really falling anymore. Right? It's not falling anymore with Nifty. Today the fall was also very, very little. In the morning itself, it recovered very sharply. So realty stocks are setting up quite nicely, and they are very strong. They're still strong. No sign of any kind of a down move in them. DLF actually you can buy it at current market price. So there is some kind of a range break here. And this is the entire demand zone. Actually, the demand zone is very wide. So you can get in DLF here. Just know that the structure is still of the downtrend, but it can reverse up from here. So DLF is also a good name to be watching out in these market conditions. And definitely Siemens, as I've already talked about. McDowell's on weekly, yeah, McDowell's is also a great chart. Can you show how we correlate Nifty while trading? Yeah, so Nifty, how you want to check it out is, if you see Nifty is falling like this, right, and your stock is doing something like this, it indicates relative strength. Now you want to go to the higher time frame and see if the stock is actually trying to go above some daily high or not, or some daily swing. So there is a daily swing here as well. So the stock will try to break through this daily swing if it's showing some relative strength on the lower time frame, and that is how you want to see what Nifty is doing against what your stock is doing. Siemens as well, if you see, this is the daily range which it's trying to take out, and the Ashok Leyland is also trying to take out this swing, right? So now see, this is also showing a lot of outperformance with respect to Nifty. It's still going up, but I will not take it because there's a lot of supply which is looming around here on the daily chart. So that is why I'll ignore this one. So yeah, you want to see if it's trying to go somewhere on the daily, and if it is, then you want to see some outperformance on the lower time frame. So Siemens is trying to go up. Let's see, I think it will break out big today itself. Maybe 2250 can come about in this stock. All right. Awas Engineering, or I'll check it out. I think Awas Financial, I think, if I remember the name correctly. Awas Financials. All right. So this is, I will wait for it actually. I'll wait for it. I will wait for it to take out this, and then I'll look for longs here. Still good, but not that good. M&M is good, yeah. M&M I've discussed already. M&M is a good structure. Let it set up properly. It's still falling on the hourly chart. Let it break out of this base, and then we can get in M&M. M&M is a good chart. McDowell is good. McDowell is good. SW Solar. All right, let's see where it is. Yeah, this is also looking quite nice here. So this is taken out. There was an entry in the morning. You will be entering a bit high here, but you can definitely get in. You can get in with half position here, and then if it dips down to these levels, just 415, 418, you can get in with your full position, with your SL below this low. EID, Paris, Sona, BLW. All right. Yeah, this is another good. All right. You guys are actually sending good charts to you. That is a great sign. This is broken out, and let it set up here. If it forms a rounding bottom here, you take it. EID, Paris, CDSL is good. CDSL I've discussed earlier as well. CDSL, I think it's up today. Yeah, marginally up. This is good. Until this demand is broken, this is good. VSSL is also good. I'm also watching this one. This is also a really good chart. It's already on my radar. Good charts, nice work. So Prince Pipes, yeah. Let's see what Prince Pipe is. I had exited this one earlier, but is it going up? Or it's trying to go up. It's trying to hold this area, which is a great sign. This is definitely one of the major market leaders here. If you see, it has moved up very nicely, and this is what you want to aim for. These kind of structures right here, they keep giving you moves until the bull market fades out, and you have to be aware about these stuff. So let's see this one right here. Prince Pipes is good. It is good. Actually, you can get in with a stop below the base. Let's see what is going on with Nifty. Well, it's still trying to, but no strength here. Let's see. No longs right now. It's just not good. V1 BNF. All right, let me check out EID. Pari India. All right, this is also good. All right. So, but the thing is, it's still drifting downwards. There is no break on the higher side. So you want to wait for this to be taken out, and then you want to see some action here. This is your entry spot. V on Bank Nifty for the coming month, for the coming weeks. For the coming weeks is difficult to say because the market is very volatile and it's trending on the upside definitely. So until unless this base is taken out on the downside, there has to be upside, because this is the all-time high breakout here, right? And then just a second. Yeah. So this is the all-time high breakout uh, base right here, right? This demand zone, and all of these are strong buying areas. Right? This also is a strong buying area. So until and unless all these are taken out on the downside, this pullback is natural in the market. Nothing wrong with it. All right. So don't worry about this pullback. It's completely fine. You'll have to learn to negotiate through all this, right? If you ended up entering at some stock here, so like where is Bank Nifty here? So see what happens is usually people see the breakout and then they try to enter these breakouts as well. Whereas I mean you should be avoiding these breakouts at all costs, because even the 20 DMA, it's extended from the 20 DMA as well. So this kind of a pullback is, I mean, the market deserves to take this. See, if you are entering here and you see something like this, okay, this is unnatural. But not even unnatural, it's just trading the range. But if you enter here and then you see something like this is completely natural. You should be prepared for this all the time. Just basic climax move, right? Any penny stock? I don't really know any penny stock. I think there is one. Let me check this out. What is it doing today? So this is a strong base building up, huge volumes as well here. Let's see what it does, but no buying right now. I'm staying away from mid caps or small caps for that matter. So this is breaking out nicely as expected. Let's see. So relative strength is the game. If you are able to analyze relative strength properly, then everything will be a smooth ride. When Nifty recovers, this will just shoot up to the orbit. All right, Rolex rings. Yeah, I'll probably avoid this. Not a big fan of structure. Very volatile. Let it go sideways for a while. Not entering here. Clean signs. All right, clean signs. Clean signs again. It's created a lower high, so ignore it. This one. Not exactly a lower high, but still not the strongest name right now. It is breaking out of the structure. This is a good move right here. And there is an entry right now, but honestly, you can find much better in the market. All right, let's see. Nifty, I've discussed Nifty so many times. So it is inside a previous accumulation area. So until and unless this is taken out, there is no long-term trend change in the market. It can just go up easily. Right? What you want for a trend change is, I mean, for a trend reversal for the bull run to end, it's a big bearish candle here and then some distribution here. That will indicate further down move for multiple months. Until then, these are just shakeouts. Nothing really substantial going on. ICICI Bank, check it out. ICICI Bank is still overextended. I will not take it. It's extended on the upside, but it's still actually showing strength, which is a good sign. But I will stay away. Alright, Suprajit, alright, let's check it out. Yeah, this also looks like a market leader. It has doubled. Yeah, definitely it has doubled. So let's see. But the point is, until and unless this is taken out, this major swing is taken out, it won't really give any momentum on the upside. So you ignore this one for the time being. But it's definitely strong. Shilpa Medical. Alright. Alright, right, I think someone asked about this in the last session as well. This is reacting from this area, but again, it's not really moving anywhere. So, not my cup of tea this one. Tattvachintam Pharma. All right, it is overextended, so wait for a pullback base. Same thing. Nothing here for an entry as well. So Nifty is just sideways. Let's see. All right, Jyoti, I'm not really sure about that. Jyoti Raisins, all right. Yeah, this is good. This is a market leader. But I think it's a bit illiquid. Yeah, it's actually very illiquid. It's only in BSC as well. It's very liquid, but it is a market leader, so it can move on. The structure is really good. IIFL, well, Deepak Fertilizer is sideways in a falling market, but Deepak Fertilizer, all right, Deepak Fertilizer, which one? All right, this one. It's not really sideways. It's lost all its relative strength here. So whatever strength it had in the up move, it has lost everything here. So let it set up again, then we'll check it out. Nothing yet. Dr. Reddy, IIFL Wealth, I've checked it. I've already discussed it, that the structure is good. You can keep your stop below the demand zone. So I've discussed. Oh, that IIFL Finance was stop. IIFL Wealth, actually, it's very nicely placed on the weekly, but now the structure is kind of ruined. Well, if you see, a lot of volatility has gone about here. So wait for some tightening up action here, and then we will aim for an up move in the stock. Not right now. Dr. Reddy, Forex pair, I don't really track Forex. I don't track Forex. Dr. Reddy, nothing going on. It pulled down to the demand zone, so that is the reaction from the earnings. But again, nothing going on at all. The volume is not there. The action is there, but the volume is not there at all. So it is definitely moving up, but there's a lot of supply here, so it might get immediately rejected when it reaches higher. So I will stay away from these stocks. BSE is good. Yes, BSE is one market leader. It is good. The structure is good. Keep your stop below this zone, or this low right here. Wait a minute. It is falling again. All right. It's trying to go down. Let's see what happens. Voltas, there is nothing in Voltas. It has fallen a lot. There is nothing in Voltas anymore. CDSL is a good structure. I've already discussed it in today's live. CDSL is good. Bike hospitality. Let's see what has happened to this one. So this is also good enough. Nothing wrong with this right now. Exit only below this demand zone. All right. So that is it for today's live. You guys have really learned a lot. And this chart which you're recommending are great. So that is a great thing to see, and good work, I guess. And I think the audio issue is solved now. So I will try to come live more often, and I'll also upload the market view videos from Sunday, for the next week. All right, so have a good day, everyone. I'll see you soon.